नन्दिनुते
ऐ गिरिनन्दिनी विश्वविनोदिनी
ऐ गिरिनन्दिनी नन्दितमेदिनी विश्वविनोदिनी नन्दिनुते ऐ गिरिनन्दिनी नन्दितमेदिनी विश्वविनोदिनी नन्दिनुते गिरिवरविन्द्यविनोदिनी हासिनी विष्णुविलासिनी जिष्णुनुते गिरिवरविन्द्यश्रीरोहिनिवासिनी विष्णुविलासिनी जिष्णुनुते भगवति हे श्रीति कंठकुटुम्बिनी भूरि कुटुम्बिनी भूरि कृते
भगवति हे श्रीति कंठकुटुम्बिनी भूरि कुटुम्बिनी भूरि कृते
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी
रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते सुरवरवर्षिणी दुर्धरधर्षिणी दुर्मुखमर्षिणी हर्षते
सुरवरवर्षिणी दुर्धरधर्षिणी दुर्मुखमर्षिणी हर्षरते
त्रिभुवन पोषिणी शंकर तोषिणी किल्बिषमोषिणी घोषरते
त्रिभुवन पोषिणी शंकर तोषिणी किल्बिषमोषिणी घोषरते
धनुजनि रोषिणी दितिसुतरोषिणी दुर्मदशोषिणी सिन्धुसुते
धनुजनि रोषिणी दितिसुतरोषिणी दुर्मदशोषिणी सिन्धुसुते
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते
ऐ जगदम्बा दम्ब कदम्बा वनप्रिया पासि सरते
ऐ जगदम्बा दम्ब कदम्बा वनप्रियवासिनी हासरते
शिखरिष्णोमणि तुंग हिमालय शृंगनिगालय मध्यगते
शिखरे शिरोमणि तुंग हिमालय शृंग निजालय मध्यगते
मधु मधुरे मधु कैतव गंजिनी कैतव भंजिनी रासरते
मधु मधुरे मधु कैतव भंजिनी कैतव भंजिनी रासरते
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते
ऐशतखण्डवे खण्डितरुन्दवे तुण्डितशुण्डगजाधिपते
ऐशतखण्डवे खण्डितरुण्डवे तुण्डितशुण्डगजाधिपते
रिपुगजगन्दवी धारणचन्दप राकमशुण्डमे गाधिपते राकमशुण्डमे
गाधिपते
निज भोज दंदनी पातित खंडवे पातित मुंड भटाधिपते
निज भुज दंदनी पातित खंडवे पातित मुंड भटाधिपते
जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनी रम्यकपर्दिनी शैलसुते
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 जगदम्बा माता की जय। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुदेवाय नमः। जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। देवी भवानी मां जय देवी भवानी मां કરો દેવી માં.
દયા કરો દેવી માં, કૃપા કરો દેવી માં.
દયા કરો દેવી માં. કૃપા કરો દેવી માં.
દયા કરો દેવી માં, કૃપા કરો દેવી માં.
જય માં દેવી ભવાની માં.
જય માં, જય દેવી ભવાની માં.
જય માં જય દેવી ભવાની માં.
જય માં, જય દેવી ભવાની માં.
જય દુર્ગા ભવાની માં. જગદંબા ભવાની માં.
જય દુર્ગા ભવાની માં,
જગદંબા ભવાની માં.
જગદંબા ભવાની માં.
દેવી ભવાની માં. જય દેવી ભવાની માં.
દેવી ભવાની માં, જય દેવી ભવાની માં.
દયા કરો દેવી માં. કૃપા કરો દેવી માં.
દયા કરો દેવી માં, કૃપા કરો દેવી માં.
જય માં જય દેવી ભવાની માં.
જય માં, જય દેવી ભવાની માં.
જય દુર્ગા ભવાની માં. જગદંબા ભવાની માં.
જય દુર્ગા ભવાની માં, જગદંબા ભવાની માં.
અંબે માં અંબે માં અંબે માં અંબે માં.
અંબે માં, અંબે માં, અંબે માં, અંબે માં.
અંબે માં અંબે માં અંબે માં અંબે માં.
અંબે માં, અંબે માં, અંબે માં, અંબે માં.
અંબે માં અંબે માં અંબે માં અંબે માં.
અંબે માં, અંબે માં,
you all are joining us tonight for the first time. We are seeing Devi Mahatmyam. Devi Mahatmyam is a small text of 700 verses that emerges in the Markandeya Puran. And the glories of the Devi are given here. And it is also found, the same glories of the Devi are found in what is called a Devi Bhagavad Puran. There's another bigger text even, big one. So the stories are same, just in the Devi Bhagavad Puran they're in more detail. Right. So when we left it last night, we saw the great twin asuras, Shumbha and Nishumbha. Yeah. They took over the whole of Swarga, chased out the Devatas and all that kind of thing. And they assumed all portfolio in their hands and all. They became dictators. Right? So dictators are not only known today in the world, you know. The world has always known dictators. But what they do, dictators are okay if they follow dharma. But the problem is they follow a lot of adharma. They follow dharma, then it's a good thing. So they cause too much of adharma, and then the devatas also, who were the rightful owners of the throne and also the rightful owners of Swarga and all, they were kicked out. And so they went and worshipped the Devi, because they had gotten a boon from the Devi in the past that when we get into trouble, if you worship the Devi, she will come. So she came there. Now we saw all of that last night. And two of the henchmen of this Shumbha and Nishumba, we saw in the beginning, they saw when the Devi emerged, and they went and they told their boss, you know, that this beautiful gem has come into this world. We do not know where she has come from, but since you have collected all the gems already, you know, in this world, then you should also have this gem of this Devi. And Shumba Nishumba thought, well, that is a very good idea. And so he sent his messenger. His messenger name was Sugriva. And I told you last night, not the same Sugriva of Rama and Sugriva, and this is a different Sugriva. So that Sugriva came there, and he told all the, well, he gave the sales pitch. I don't know what you call it, a sales pitch, something like that. That in the end, that you should marry my, you know, boss, like that. Because he's deserving of you and you're deserving of him. And we saw so many different lessons coming up in all this. And the important thing there was entitlement. Because there are many people who are born in the world and they feel entitled to certain things. And there's a very bad disease of human beings. Actually, the bottom line for entitlement is, we should never ever feel that we're entitled to anything in this world. No human being should ever feel that he is entitled to anything in this world. Because first of all, I did not make one atom of this world. Anybody made an atom or what? We did not make even one atom. Not only that, it's worse than that. We cannot make one atom. Not only we didn't, we cannot, if we give all the material also. You take space, air, fire, water and earth and make an atom. So we didn't and we cannot also. So we are really not entitled to anything in this world. If it should be, it should always be that we owe the world something. It should be the other way around. But instead of doing that, instead of thinking that we owe the world something, we all think that we are entitled. This is a wonderful disease of jivas. That is why our pledge says, produce more than what you consume and give more than what you take. The pledge says like that, because of this thing. So anyway, this Sugriva came there and told the Devi, well, you should marry my boss because he's deserving of a gem like you. So he is entitled, in other words. So She said, okay, well, yes, I will marry your boss. This is where we left it last night. Everybody thought Swamiji left us hanging on a cliff. I shall marry your boss, but on one condition. And here is my condition. Now, this is number 100 of the 5th chapter. Some of the recensions have different numbers, and also those of who are following the book, you might see a different number. I don't know. 100 के आसपास. जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
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 जय अम्बे जगदम्बे.
119, wrong number again.
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
किं त्वत्र प्रतिज्ञातम्,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
मिथ्यात् क्रियते कथम्,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
श्रूयतामल्पबुद्धित्वात्,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
प्रतिज्ञाया कृता पुरा,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
यो मां जयति सङ्ग्रामे,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
यो मे दर्पं व्यपोहति,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
यो मे प्रतिबलो लोके,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
स मे भर्ता भविष्यति,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
तदा गच्छतु शुम्भोऽत्र,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
निशुम्भो वा महाबलः,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
मां जित्वा किं विचेरात्र,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
मां जित्वा किं चिरेणात्र,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
पाणिं गृह्णातु मे लघु,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे,
जय अम्बे जगदम्बे.
Chaitanya Mata ki jai. So Devi tells, yeah, okay, now you came with such a proposal that I should marry your boss, So great. Well, okay, I will marry your boss, but let me tell you one more thing. Kim tvatra yat pratignatam mithyatat kriyate katham. I don't know how she's telling. I don't know how, by some foolish mistake or something, in the past, I took a vow. And what is that vow? Shruyatam alpa buddhit Tvat pratignya ya krita pura. And I took it maybe out of mistake, out of, tamas, or out of short-sightedness or some kind of thing like that. Mistakenly I took a vow. What is the vow? Yomam jayati sangrame, yome darpam vyapohati. That person who could conquer me in battle, that person who can quell my pride, Yome pratibalo loke, and who is equal to me in power, same bharta bhavishyati. That person will be my husband. So the one who could really conquer me in battle and quell my pride, because I am a very proud person, I am proud, and that person has to conquer me and quell my pride. Then only he can be my husband. So go back and tell your boss that this is my condition. Tada gacchatu Shumbho atra nishumbhova mahabalaha mam jitva kim chirena atra panim grihnatu melahu. Go and tell why is he delaying. Tell your boss, whether it's Shumbha or Nishumbha, it doesn't matter. Tell them, why is it delaying? Come here fast and conquer me in battle, and then you can marry me. Easy. What are simple? Well, it sounds simple, but in English there's easier said than easier said than done. Well, what follows is, you tell me in your mind, Sugriva is relating to the Devi verbatim whatever he was told by Shumbha, Nishumbha. Verbatim. In other words, he is just the mouthpiece of the two strong legs of the ego, which is me and mine. We saw that previously also. Two strong legs of the ego, me and mine. So now, when those two legs of the ego are very strong, me and mine, the person feels entitled. And when the person's entitlement is thwarted, when the person's entitlement is obstructed, then what happens? Well, that is the time they get abusive. That is the time they become rude. That is the time they now start exhibiting all durgunas, all bad qualities. So, immediately when Sugriva hears this, his reply, in the very next verse itself. Yes, next verse. Sugriva's reply. Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
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 Avaliptasi maivam tvam,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Devi bruhi mamagataha,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Trailoke kartuman srishte,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Agre Shumbha Nishumbhayoho,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Anyeshamapi daityanam,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Sarve devanavayudhi,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Tishthanti sammukhe devi,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Kim punasti tvamekika,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Jagadambe.
Jagadamba Mata ki. First thing that comes out from his mouth, after the Devi spoke and told her condition, the first thing that comes out from his mouth, Avaliptasi, Ma Avaliptasi. What is that? Don't be arrogant. He telling, his boss sends him to go and tell Devi that she should marry him. And now he telling her, don't be arrogant. Oh, what a thing. See how this me and mine, how this ego works with these two legs of me and mine. So he said, don't be arrogant. Evam tvam Devi bruhi mamagrataha. And don't speak like that in front of me. This is only the messenger. Trailokye ka pumans tishtet agre shumbani shumbayoho. Where is there any person in the three worlds who can stand before my Shumba and Nishumba? Where is there any person? Anyesham api daityanam sarve devana vayuti. Any daitya, danava, any deva, nobody could stand in front. Tishtanti sammukhe devi kim punastri tvam eka. Ekika means none of them, no, Deva, Danava, nobody could stand in front of my Shumba, Nishumba. Then what to talk about you, who are, first of all, a woman, and second, alone. Like that. So, the one who is arrogant is telling the other one, don't be. What a wonderful thing. That is how this world works. And in this world, there's a दुर्बल को न सताइए जाकी मोती हाय मरी खाल की श्वास से लोह भस्म हो जाए
लोह भस्म हो
मरी खाल की श्वास से लोह भस्म हो जाए लोह भस्म हो जाए लोह भस्म हो जाए. Kabir Sahib has written a really nice dua. You would have heard it so many times. But let me tell you the meaning. He said, Durbal ko na sataiye. It means to say that we should never discount or look down upon or disregard the weak people or anything weak in this world. So now this is what Sugriva is doing, thinking that the Devi is, first of all, she's woman, she's weak. Second, she's alone. So then, and then nobody could stand in front of my Shumba, Nishumba. So he's thinking that she is like this. But the Kabir Sahib says, don't ever think that the weak in this world has no power and could do nothing. And in the second line of that doha, Mari khal ki swas se loha bhasma ho jaye. Now this is, to understand this you will have to know a little bit of blacksmithing. If you go into in the olden days, you go into a blacksmith's shop, they will have something called bellows. And the bellows is made from leather, the skin of some animal. And this bellows comes down like this and blows air into coals. And the coals become red hot and they melt iron even. So he says, even the breath from the skin of a dead animal also can melt iron. The breath from the skin of a dead animal also could melt iron. And so he's using that as an example. Do not underestimate the influence and power of those who appear to be weak or powerless, like that. This is a very famous doha. I'm sure all of you have heard it in some bhajans and all. So, he immediately underestimates but you know that. He underestimates the Devi and thinks, oh, you are alone, you're a woman, what you could do, better you come and surrender to my boss, and then like that. Well, she says, well, the best thing is for you to go and tell your boss, whatever you may say, you go and tell your boss my condition. And why are you wasting time also? You go fast and tell him. Well, when people feel entitled, then you thwart their entitlement, they get really angry. So Sugriva went and told the boss. And the boss got really angry. Now this is in next chapter now. Number 2, 3, like that. Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
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 Ityakarnyavacho devyaः
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Saduto Marshapuritah
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Samachashta Samagamya
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Daitya Rajaya Vistarat
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Tasya Dutasya Tadvakyam
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Akarnyasurarattatah
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Akrodha Prahadaityanam
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Adinipam Dhumralochanam
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jayamde Jagadambe
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jayamde Jagadambe
Jai Ambe Jagadambe.
Jagadamba Mata Ki Jai. Ityakarnya vacho devyaha sa dutaha amarsha puritaha. With great indignation in his mind now, Sugriva, he went and he told all the whole news to Shumba and Shumba. And Shumba, of course, the leader, he's the elder brother. So he's doing the speaking, Shumba. Then he gets really angry and he calls, now, Tasya dutasya vakyam akarnya surarattataha sakrodha praha. He shouted now at, and who was his, what is that? Major General, Commander-in-Chief of the army. His name was Dhumralochan. Dhumralochan. Dhumralochan means with smoky eyes. The one who has smoky eyes. So smoky eyes means, it is very symbolic also. What? Are look here. If you are the chieftain, the boss, the commander-in-chief of who? Shumba, Nishumba, who is strong, 2 legs of the ego, me and mine. It means to say that when the person has strong sense of me and mine, a strong sense of entitlement, me and mine, that person could never ever see anything clearly. His eyes will always be smoky. Because everything he sees, he will interpret from a selfish standpoint. Correct or not? But you are not the only being in this world. This world is full of countless jivas. You are not the only jiva. So, I will be biased from the beginning itself. So, Dhumra Lochan, his commander-in-chief is Dhumra Lochan. Smoky eye fellow. In Trinidad and all these things will be said in such funny way. You call him Smoky eye. Call him Smoky eye. Hey Dhumra Lochan! Dhumra Lochan. Ashutvam Swasainya Parivaritaha. Collect your army from every side. Oh Dhumra Lochan, Shumba is telling. Collect your army from every side. Tam Anaya Bala Dushtam. Now see, Shumba has not met the Devi and he just got a message back from Sugriv and already he calls her Dushta. Dushta means evil, wicked. Why she is evil, wicked? You have not even seen her. You have not even met her. But already she is evil and wicked. Why? Because she did not accede to your request, whatever you had. Yeah. She did not fall prey to your feeling of entitlement. So anybody who doesn't, accede to my entitlement, well, they're already wicked. So he calls her wicked, even though he had never seen her. So you go there and Balat with all the strength of your whole army, and now see his instruction. With the strength of your whole army, you go there and Kesha Akarshana Vihvalam. You grab her by the hair and drag her here. Even without seeing her. Grab the hair of the Devi and now see the cruelty expresses there very, very strongly. And this is what happens when that ego has strong me and my. It can only act cruelly. It really cannot act in a benevolent way, in any good way. And so, Dhumra Lochan comes there, and now this is 611. 60,000 asuras, 60,000 of these. He comes and he approaches the Devi. 6-1. Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
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 Daityeshwarena prahito,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Balavan Balasamritaha,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Balanayasi mamevam,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Balanayasi mamevam,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Kata chinte karomyaham,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe.
Jagadamba Mata ki jai. Daityeshwarena prahitaha, sent by the lord of the Daityas, means sent by Shumba. Balavan, Balasambritaha, with all his big army and everything coming there, Dhumra Lochan. Balan Nayasi, mameva tataha kim te karomyaham. She tells, Devi tells, well, you have been sent by your boss with all your big army and you're so powerful and have, 60,000 asuras with you and all that, and I am alone here. What to do? I can't do anything. No, I am helpless. Because Sugriva had gone back and said, she's the helpless Devi and she's alone. So she herself is telling, no, I am helpless, what I'll do? And then, ityuktaha, so abhyadavatam asuro dhumralochanaha. When the Devi said like that, well, no, I am really alone, I am helpless, and you have 60,000 asuras, and what can I do? Dhumralochana ran there to grab her hair, because that's what the instruction. What is it? Grab by the hair, and he ran there to grab her hair. Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Hunkare Nevatam Bhasma,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Sachakarambika Tada,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Sachakarambika Tada,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe.
I remember some scene in some movie, One fellow, he had a black, they say, but it's called in karate, you have black belt. I don't know what color belt he had, some black belt maybe. And he came in front of another Durbal fellow. Durbal means weak fellow. And then they, how they make this all sound and all that? And he, with his black belt and all, And this fellow, this weak old man, when he saw this black belt fellow, doing all of these magic things, he raised his eyebrows. And he took out a gun and shot him. Because in black belt, they did not teach you how to block bullets, All the black belt went to naught. Well, exactly the same thing happened here now. This Dhumla, all this whole story wraps up in 2 verses. Dhumra Lochan comes there with 60,000 asuras. And then the Devi also just standing there, telling, well, you really, I am alone. And what I'll do? Your boss sent me here, he sent you with 60,000 asuras, what I'll do? And he rushed to grab the hair of the Devi and drag her there, because that's what the boss gave the instruction. And in half the shloka, Hunkare Nevatam Bhas, quarter shloka. The Devi just going Hunkar, and this fellow turned to ashes. Turned him to Bhasma in quarter shloka also. That's like the same scene in the movie. With all the asuras and all of these fellows. But asuras are one thing, I tell you, see. This very interesting thing. No matter what humiliation Ravan got, and who died, Meghnad died, his Kumbhakaran died, whoever died, all his army generals died. But Ravan is not giving up, correct? Ravan still charges forth. You see that? Well, the same thing here. This Dhumra Lochan, he charged at the Devi, and the Devi just gave one Hunkar. Hunkar is a sound, for those of you who don't know. Like we have Omkar. Like Omkar, yeah. So Humkar. Humkar is like a terrible sound of the Devi. One Humkar and the whole universe can. She must have given a little Humkar. This Dhumra Lochan, already smoke was there, now the fire finished him. Because smoky eyed. Smoke, because wherever there is smoke, there has to be. So he turned to ashes because serious fire of Humkar. Anyway, So, all the other Rakshasas, now instead of running away, these fellows and all, they also now charged at the... I told you, they don't give up. Evil forces don't. You know that, right? Actually, it is good people who give up. Evil forces, the moment they come out with a new security detail and a new security, assurances and all that we bring to prevent this, online intrusion and all that, right? The moment you come up with a new one, the evil fellows, they're waiting there too. Anything you come up with, they will break that security, breach the security. They never give up. Good people, what you see, you do 2 mala. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Swamiji, this thing not working, you know. Not working. You give up mala and all. See, the people who want to do sadhana, they give up very fast like that. And these other fellows. So now they charge, all of them. Then what? The Devi just left that Som Nandi, I told you that lion, she left that Som Nandi. I said, you deal with them. I dealt with the boss, with Dhumra Lochan. I dealt with him already. That Som Nandi, he routed that whole 60,000 of them alone. Like that. And now this news went back to Shumbha, Nishumbha. The Devi was finished, had finished the Dhumra Lochan and all his henchmen, all his people there. Then Chukopa, the Dhumra, Shumbha got really angry. This is number 21. Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
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 He Chanda He Munda Balair,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Bahuve Parivarikam,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Tatra Gacchata Gatvacha,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Sasamaniyatam Ladhu,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Esheshva Krishyabhava,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Yadeva Sanshayo Yudhi,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Adasheshayudhai Sarvai,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Asuradvinihanyatam,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe,
Jai Ambe Jagadambe.
Jagadamba Mata ki jai. He Chanda, he Munda. Now she called another pair. He called another pair, Shumbha. I told you they always come in pairs. Because they are very united actually. They really serve each other. See, Bhagavan Krishna walks alone. Bhagavan Ram walks alone. But these Rakshasas, Ravan Kumbhakaran. You always hear, no? Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. Chanda Munda. Like this. Shumbha Nishumbha. It's on and on it goes. They come in pairs like that. Because they are good support for each other. So anyway, he calls now. This is Shumbha. Hey Chanda, hey Munda. two of his other. These were the two fellows who brought the news in the first place. These were the first two who saw the Devi first and came and told, boss, there's a gem, and you have all gem belong to you, You are entitled to all gems. So there's a gem. So he calls these two now. And he tells, you go there, tatra gacchata gatvacha sa samaniyatam. Lagu, you bring her here in a flash. What? Then kesheshu akrishya baddhava. You drag her here by the hair, or you tie her and bring her here. Now it is additional one. Tie her also now. Bring her here. Yadivaha samshayo yuthi. And if you have any doubt, attack her also. And make sure you bring her here like that. Well, Chanda, Munda come, these two now, come there, and the Devi saw them coming, and in a few verses down the road, she takes on the form of the terrible Kali. Takes on a terrible form in the next chapter this goes, It changes into next chapter. And they attack, this Chandamunda attack, and of course you know how the fighting goes. On and on, like last night or the previous night I was telling you, there was a terrible bloodbath. And please don't feel anything about this. Well, I told you now, many people, when they see these things in Hindu Shastras, they say, Hindu people, you teach about violence. Mahabharata, fighting. Ramayana, fighting. Bhagavad Gita, fighting. Now all these Devis, fighting. So you people only teach about fighting or what? What is very interesting, I'll tell you. The ironic thing about the world, right? You have to just look. They claim that the Hindu Shastras only has violence, right? But I'm telling you, it is Hinduism which spread in this world without violence. Every other thing spread only with violence. It's amazing. So the thing which people blame us for, that was never used to spread any Sanatana Dharma anywhere. So if you look at the violence, you will see it was always when the people who followed adharma, when they took over the society, the people who are following dharma, they have to do something, isn't it? Those who are following dharma have to do, so you can't just sit there. So it is always when we could not tolerate anymore these fellows who are engaged in adharma, then we do something. Always it turns out like that. There are so many other things which ironically people go on slamming Sanatana Dharma for, and really speaking, you will see the irony of existence is like, I'll give you some. So one of them is this thing, that all your scriptures only have violence, violence, violence. But we are the only ones who never use violence to spread anything. So that's irony. Another thing I'll show you, look. They go on telling, you Hindu people have so many gods. You Hindu people have so many gods. So then what the other people did? The other people said, you have too many gods. We will make one God. Right? So you reject this Sanatana Dharma with all of these gods and all of that kind of thing, and you make one God. Also you make one scripture. Right? That was the response to Sanatana Dharma in the first instance. Then what happened? Well, you tried to make one, but Amma was saying earlier, you are not in charge. You tried to make one, but do you know how many denominations there are in Christianity today? 37,000. You see, you could check AI. How many denominations? 37,000. One more thing. You are a Vaishnava and you are a Shaiva. And a Vaishnava will not say, I am not going to the Shaiva temple. And a Shaiva will not say, I am not going to the Vaishnava temple. Do we say? No, we go. Very easily. So, the people who try to make one have now made 37, and there are so many from this church who will not go in. Countless. I know. They will not go. And we have no problem with going. So you try to dissolve the variety which Sanatana Dharma has, and you try to dissolve that variety and only make one. But you are fighting a battle against Prakriti. How you will win Prakriti? Can you ever win Prakriti? Prakriti's nature is variety. And I am a product of Prakriti. I am not the controller of Prakriti. So like that. So there's one more thing, people go on, accusing Sanatana Dharma. But the irony of Prakriti is wonderful. You have this one and that one. You don't know what to follow. So, like this, whenever anybody attack and say, you promote violence, you have all these scriptures, all these gods, all these things, people, well, you just have to look from the other side a little bit and you will see that is not a weak point, that is actually a positive guna, is really good thing. And because of our variety, we say variety is the spice of life. We say that, na? And you don't like this thing in Sanatana Dharma, well, there is something else for you. And you don't like that thing, there is something else for you. You don't like that, there's buffet style. You have everything there. So it's a nice, good benefit to Sanatana Dharma. Any criticism for Sanatana Dharma, you please learn to see from the other side. There will be so many good things. Actually, it's better. So now this violence. So we say it is the nature of the whole Prakriti that if I am attacked, I will have to do something. Even a little creature who is powerless, helpless, a little mouse, if you try to grab him, he'll bite you. He has some defense mechanism built into his DNA. You see? There's absolutely no promotion of violence or anything like that. So they came, the Devi just said, well, okay, what I'll do. I can't do anything. I'm alone and your boss sent you to take me. You have 60,000 Rakshasas or Asuras with you. But if you really attack, well, then I'll have to use Humkar, Like that. And they came, this Chandamunda came now, and now this is number 720. After long, prolonged battle, and so much of bloodshed and killing, and Devi alone on this side, Kali, alone on this side, and on the other side, all these Rakshasas, all these Asuras of Chandamunda. It is described also, big numbers are given. Jayambe Jagadambe Jayambe Jagadambe Jayambe Jagadambe Jayambe Jagadambe Utthaya cha Mahasimham Jayambe Jagadambe Chandamdhavata Jayambe Jagadambe Grihitva chasya klesheshu Jayambe Jagadambe Shiraste nasinachinat Jayambe Jagadambe Athamundo bhyathavattam Jayambe Jagadambe
चन्दं निपातितम्
अम्बे जगदम्बे
आमाप्यपातयद्भूमौ
अम्बे जगदम्बे
साखण्डविहितं वृषा
अम्बे जगदम्बे
साखण्डविहितं वृषा
अम्बे जगदम्बे
जयम्बे जगदम्बे
अम्बे जगदम्बे
Jagadamba Mata ki jai. Finally, after a long and prolonged battle between Chandamunda and the Devi, Uthaya cha Mahasimham, the Devi, who was fighting on the ground all the time, she jumped on her lion, and Devi Chandamunda Dhavata and approached the Chandama Dhavata and Grihitva Chasya Keshu and grabbed him by the hair, hair like this. And with that sword, Asina, she cut off his head. Well, what happens next is a very interesting thing. I told you about this before. Human beings have, we are all born with this durguna. What is the durguna? We have a love for revenge. Everybody here. It is only a matter of degrees. Some people have a stronger love for revenge, and some people have a weaker love for revenge. But we all have a love for revenge. That also is not a good guna. We should not have an ounce of revengefulness in our mind, but we are born with that. So you see from childhood only. One child hits another child. This child will born with it. Let me demonstrate it to you. I'll show you. Look here. You know, when in Sholay, when Amitabh Bachchan died, right? So one of the pair, the two friends, one died. And finally, they caught that Gabbar Singh. Huh? Finally, they caught that Gabbar Singh and they were giving him a good beating. At that time in the movie theater, what would you be saying in your mind? Yeah, give him some more. Yes, give him some more. Everybody, they are waiting to see when Gabbar Singh will get some more, isn't it? Because of all the bad things which he did. Everybody is waiting to, and some people get so worked up in the theater, they stand up also and they also are giving. So, that shows that everybody has built in them a desire to have revenge. Really, I'm telling. So now, when Chanda died, she cut off his head. Then Munda is there. So Munda, what? You killed my brother? What? Munda took off behind this Devi, How dare you kill my brother like that? This strong revenge came. So you see, in the Rakshasas, it will be very strong. Ravan till the end was saying, I am going to avenge the death of my Kumbhakarna, my son. Correct or not? I am going to avenge the death of my son and my brother. Like that. Strong it is. So, Atha Munda Abhyathavata. Abhyathavata means he rushed towards her. Munda, the next brother now. Drishtva Chanda Nipatitam. Seeing his brother had died. So he got really angry. I have to take revenge on this Devi. Seeing his brother dead, he rushed. Then Tam Api Apatayat Bhumau Sa Khanga Vihitam Rusha. The Devi evoked anger. See how wonderful the scriptures. I'll tell you how the scriptures use it. This is very interesting. When you read the Sanskrit very slowly and carefully, you will see the presentation is like this. You and I we get angry. We get angry. The Devi and Bhagwan, they evoke anger. There is a difference between getting angry and evoking anger. The two are different or not? It means to say the anger storms my heart and overtakes my mind, and I have no control. So I get angry. I become a victim of anger. But in the scriptures, the way it is presented, very nicely, when you see the juxtaposition of words in Sanskrit, you'll realize the Devi saw him coming and she evoked the anger to give a fitting response to the onslaught. And as soon as the anger is evoked, it means I am in control of the anger. Now, to evoke the anger means I am in control of the anger and I evoke it and I use it for what it has to be used for. And then, every time in scriptures it is presented like this. Bhagwan Sri Ram. When Sagar did not respond, Tulsidashi presents in very exactly the same way. Sagar did not respond. Bhagwan evoked anger. And as soon as Sagar came, let the anger go. And if you, for those of you who have not seen this, I'm so sorry, but you should have seen our Puja Gurudev do that. He'll evoke that anger like that. And the next moment, it will be gone. So, this is how, because anger is a thing. It is there in the world. So, the Devi evoked this anger now, seeing Munda, because Chanda is already dead. Munda coming, evoked that anger, and she, with her sword again, also cut off his head. And then, the two of them now gone. She took up the two heads. She took up the two heads. And remember, she is the one who had emerged out of Durga, we had seen. She had emerged out of Durga. She brought those two heads to Durga Devi and she said, here, now you take, I have brought these two heads, Chanda Munda. But Shumbha Nishumbha, you will have to take care for yourself. So Kali, who had come out, emerged from her, brought the two heads of Chanda Munda. And now, you think Shumbha Nishumbha will come by themselves? No, 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 no. Shumbha Nishumbha sends another, even more diabolical Rakshas, Asura. Oh, oh. This fellow he called as Rakta Bij. Ay, ay. Well, he seems 100% formidable. I mean, impossible to remove. Rakta Bij. But let us rest a little bit and Rakta Bij, let us bring him tomorrow. We'll bring Rakta Bij tomorrow. And then Shumbha Nishumbha also will have to. And the symbolism of Rakta Bij also is tremendous. Alright. We'll see that. Aarti is in this only. I have to do a 5-minute talk which will be recorded now. I think most of you will not be here on Sunday, but it is to be played on Sunday for the children and for those who are in the Sunday morning satsang and all that. So this talk is on Hindu heritage, for Hindu Heritage Month. Is Hindu Heritage Month going on? All right. So now we'll just set up the you are getting it before Sunday. Only 5 minutes. Yeah, how you'll put it? You'll stay there. You'll sit there? Yeah. Okay. Because Hindu heritage, I have to, that's the topic. Hindu heritage is the topic, huh? This is very interesting. You tell me when to start. No, see, now I have to become like a... I have to wait on the director. You know. Lights, camera. All right. So, we are dealing with a very interesting topic because it is Hindu Heritage Month in Canada, and the word Hindu is quite often misunderstood by so many people. So the word itself, Hindu, is a name that was given to Sanatanis who were living across from the Sindhu River. So the name was given by, outsiders. They call us as Hindus because we lived on the other side of the Sindhu River. So the word is not a proper name for our religion, and even the word religion is not a proper name for what we practice. It is a wonderful way of life that harmonizes very well with Prakriti, with the nature, and the whole cosmos and all of that. And it is so because there is a really wonderful understanding, proper understanding about a Sanatanist worldview, or what we, now to use the colloquial word, a Hindu worldview. So now I'll just give a few simple pointers about this Hindu worldview. First thing about the Hindu worldview is we see the whole universe as one integrated living organism. You please see that. We do not see our finger as different from me. Though we call it finger and it has a different name, but we never feel it or see it as different from me. So the Hindu worldview is like that for the whole cosmos. Everything is a part of me. And therefore, from this very fundamental teaching of the rishis, we have developed a reverence and a love and adoration and bhakti, devotion for every single thing in this universe. That is why this Sanatana Dharma has evolved modes of worship for the rivers, for the mountains, for the forests, for the sun, for the moon, for the constellation, stars. We have developed reverence for every single thing in this universe because I love myself. I love my finger. I don't want anybody to take it. This finger is loved like every other part of my body. So since we see the whole universe as one integrated living organism, we love every part of it. And so there isn't a single thing which we have not worshipped. In some places you'll go, we worship rats also. Elephants, cows, trees, everything, rivers, stones. Because it is same one Paramatma which is there existing in all things. So the Hindu worldview is what results in this all-encompassing philosophical vision so that we can bring about peace in this world, because I will not commit an atrocity against my finger, any part of my body. So based on that Hindu worldview, the natural outcome of Sanatana Dharma is we will always be benevolent and good and kind and compassionate to everything around. Now one more thing. Now you see, in this body, right? If some organism attacks this body, like some virus, your white blood cells, they immediately start ganging up and they say, oh, here is an intruder. This fellow is going to threaten my existence. This bacteria, this virus, or whatever it is going to threaten my existence. Therefore, I have to make a response. So it is not that because we see that there is one living organism called the whole universe and whole world and all that we just sit by and let anything happen. Even naturally the body will respond with the white blood cells to fight off any intruder, correct? So exactly the same rule we use around us. If there's anybody who's threatening my existence, I'll have to do something. Otherwise, when we talk about the peace, people feel that the Hindus should just sit there and be a doormat. That is not what we teach. Huh? Right. Oh, so that's the first thing. We see the whole universe as one living organism, and We are part and parcel of it, and everybody and everything is part and parcel of that one living organism. And based on that, the fundamental teaching of Sanatana Dharma will be, yes, we promote peace because just like we love every part of our own body, we have to love every part of the whole universe. And this is derived from the Hindu worldview of the Hindu world being just the manifestation of one reality. And therefore, we have evolved nice prayers and worship and all that. For example, we say, Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, may all be happy. Sarve santu niramayaha, may all be free from disease. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, may all see auspiciousness everywhere. Based on our worldview, everything flows very nicely. And so, from that, the whole idea of selfishness is eradicated, removed. Because if I am saying Sarve, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all be seeing auspiciousness everywhere. If I am saying like that, it means to say, I have removed my selfishness to a great degree, and I want everybody to be happy, everybody to be free from disease. I'm not only thinking about myself. So this Hindu worldview is the panacea to all of the problems of humanity, actually. If we can imbibe that Hindu worldview properly, all of the ills of society will go away. Please remember this. So for this month, let us reflect on this very important message. This is the oneness of the universe, of which I am an integral part and everybody else is an integral part. One living organism. Okay. All right. Hari Om. I think it crossed 5 minutes. It might be a little bit more. All right, we'll have Arati and then we'll conclude now. Jai Ambe Gauri, Maya Jai Shyama Gauri. तुमको निस दिन ध्यावत, तुमको निस दिन ध्यावत, हरि ब्रह्मा शिवरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी,
जय अम्बे गौरी, मैया जय श्यामा गौरी। तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत, तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत, हरि ब्रह्मा शिवरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
मांग सिंदूर विराजत, टीको मृग मद को,
मैया टीको मृग मद को।
उज्ज्वल से दो नैना,
उज्ज्वल से दो नैना,
चंद्रवदन
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
कनक समान कलेवर, रक्तांबर राजे,
मैया रक्तांबर राजे।
रक्त पुष्प गल माला,
रक्त पुष्प जल माला,
बंधन पर साजे।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
के हरिवाहन राजत, खड़ग खपर धारी,
मैया खड़ग खपर धारी।
सुर नर मुनि जन सेवक,
सुर नर मुनि जन सेवक,
दिन के दुख हारी।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
कानन कुंदन शोभित, नासाग्रे मोती,
मैया नासाग्रे मोती।
कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर,
कोटिक चंद्र दिवाकर,
समराजत ज्योति।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
शुंभ निशुंभ विदारे, महिषासुर घाती,
मैया महिषासुर घाती।
धूम्र विलोचन नैना,
धूम्र विलोचन नैना,
मस्तक माची।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
चंद मुंद संहारे शोणित बीज हरे।
मैया शोणित बीज हरे।
मधु कैटभ दो मारे।
मधु कैटभ दो मारे।
दुर्वयहीन करे।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
ब्रह्माणी रुद्राणी तुम कमला रानी।
मैया तुम कमला रानी।
आगम निगम पखानी।
आगम निगम पठानी।
तुम शिव पटरानी।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
64 योगिनी गावत नृत्य करत भैरो।
मैया नृत्य करत भैरो।
बाजत ताल मृदंगा।
बाजत ताल मृदंगा।
अरु बाजत डमरू।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
तुम ही जगती माता तुम ही हो भरता। मैया
तुम ही हो भरता।
भक्तन की सुख हरता।
भक्तन की
दुख हरता सुख संपत्ति करता।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
पूजाचार अति शोभित वर मुद्राधारी।
मैया वर मुद्राधारी।
मनवांछित फल पावत।
मनवांछित फल पावत।
सेवत नर नारी।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
कंचन थाल विराजत अजर कपूर भाती।
मैया कपूर बाती।
श्रीमाल के तुम्हें राजत।
श्रीमान के तुम्हें राजत।
मोती रतन ज्योति।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
श्री अम्बा जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे।
मैया जो कोई नर गावे।
कहत शिवानंद स्वामी।
कहत शिवानंद स्वामी।
सुख संपत्ति पावे।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। जय अम्बे गौरी। मैया जय माँ गौरी। तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत। तुमको निश दिन ध्यावत। हरि ब्रह्मा शिवरी। ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी।
ओम जय अम्बे गौरी। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलाय तनो हरिः। कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसंतम हृदयारविंदे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। बोले जगदम्बा माता की जय। श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय।
Nama Parvati Pate Har Har Mahadev. Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay, can we just indulge everybody's attention for just 2 more minutes and then we'll go? I want to recognize in our presence Pandit Rajesh ji, who is sitting on our right side. He's a very great Pandit in our community, who's done so much of service for so many Hindus in this area. So Pandit ji has graced our Yajna today. Please meet him after. 2 quick things. One is, I want to talk about YEP, Youth Empowerment Program. This is a very, very wonderful program that Chinmay Mission West has every year. This program takes place in the summertime. You will see the date and everything here. No, this date is not the correct date. But it is June, July, for about 6 weeks. It takes place at our Mangalam ashram in Texas, Dallas, near Dallas. And it is for youths. It is a time for youths to come and really be empowered with the power and the inspiration of Sanatan Dharma, which will cause that person to glide his life through for the rest of his life, and also to spread inspiration to the rest of these people whom he interacts with. It is for young people, Youth Empowerment Program. Please encourage all the youngsters to come. They come from different parts of the world. From Trinidad, so many people have come also, and from the US, from here also, people have been going. Please tell all the young people and encourage them to join this YEP program. It's a 6-week program in the summertime. They have to come and stay in the ashram in Mangalam, just outside Dallas, Texas. All right. Pass the word around. Maybe tomorrow, if I get some time, I'll speak about it some more. Okay. So you can see some, 5 weeks it has come now. Now they got a week holiday. It used to be 6 weeks back in the past. Right. Last thing is, you may have seen an envelope like this there where you are sitting and all. For those of you who want to make a contribution to the work that the mission is doing, this is, okay, let me tell you, this is actually in Sanatana Dharma, this is mandatory. It is actually papa if we receive some knowledge from some teacher and we did not give anything in return. That is the tradition. But Gurudev did not make it mandatory in Chinmay Mission, which is wonderful. He said, if you like the work which the mission is doing and you want to see that work go on and you will see more of it happen, then you give something for the knowledge which you have received. And so that work can just go on. This ashram doesn't run on water. It needs money to run an ashram. And now it's winter, this place is heated, isn't it? So somebody has to heat it, somebody has to pay money somewhere. Everything, the sound system, electricity and all that, maintenance and all is a big, big cost. So, if you like what the mission is doing, please do give something. And if you don't like what the mission is doing, well, don't give. Because Sunday morning when the children come here, that money which you gave grudgingly, with a gripe in your belly, oh man, that Swamiji gave that envelope again, now I don't know what to do. And then you give like that. When we buy chocolate for the children on Sunday morning, their belly will hurt. So you have to give nicely. Anupakarine. Bhagavan tells how to give in Gita also. You give without anything behind. Right? Okay. So those of you who want to make a contribution, tomorrow we will be collecting these envelopes at the end of the session. Tomorrow is the last day. If you are not coming tomorrow and you want to give today also, that is most welcome. All right? Okay. Please tell your friends and neighbors and relatives and everybody and come out. Tomorrow is our last day. We'll see it's a great spiritual journey ahead. To remove me and mine is the biggest. Bhagavan is dealing with this thing from the beginning of Gita to the end. Removal of me and mine. All right. We'll see that tomorrow. Hari Om.